Hey everyone, I'm Mary Beth McAndrews from Grand Central, and I am here today with Fernando González Gómez, one of the directors of the new film, The Passenger. Hello, how are you?
Hello, how are you? Fine, thank you.
So for those watching who are not familiar with The Passenger, can you just give us a quick synopsis of the film?
Sharing van with some characters very different in between, and they are moving to a small village they need to cross some forest at the north of Spain, and they hit someone that is walking at night by the road, but she have something inside, and they decided to put her inside the van and move to the hospital, but was a wrong decision. That's it.
Yes, to put it lightly, it was a wrong decision. So I'm curious, how did you get involved in this project?
Well, I made my first movie, was a standard that was like a black comedy, little bit strange. Someone defined it like if the Coen brothers was born in a small village in Spain or something like this. I knew Raúl for a long time because we are very well-known names from the small world of the short films in Spain. Very small world. But Raúl produced like 90 short films or something like this during his career, and I directed like 37. Then we have like near to 200. Yes, it's crazy. We've been doing this like in my case 15 years, in the case of Raúl like 20 years doing in this world. And then he watched the film, and we was working in another project together, and he told me, I have The Passenger. We tried to get finance from some companies, but no one wants to because it's very risky project because of the aliens, the pasodobles, all this that now the people love. The producer said no, like always. Then he offered me the project. He told me, Fernando, let's read it and tell me what is your opinion, and if you want, we can do the co-direction. And I love the script. I showed to the producers. The producers loved the script. And finally, we have the green light. And Raúl and myself jump into a pool with no water because we never direct together. But finally, it works.
Yeah, what was it like directing together?
It's because we have the same view of how to do a movie. I mean, we love to plan a lot. Every shot it's planned at home, and sit down with a guy that is doing the storyboard and is drawing with us every shot. And then we need to be happy we need to love each one of us what we are planning in order to be in the movie. And with these rules, we go, and we did the movie, and we think it's good for us.
I mean, it's an incredible, a lot of accomplishment with practical effects and also shooting in such a small space, because a great deal of this movie takes place in a van. So I was curious, I wanted to know more about that process of trying to film in that space, and maybe some of the tricks that you pulled off to really make that tension in that space, because Jesus, claustrophobic.
It's not as small as you think, because there was two bands, two Nessas. There was the real Nessa, and then we have another one built by the team of Laura Lostalet, the art team. They built a replica, only inside replica. Okay, outside was wood. Okay, nothing, but inside it looks the same. And I remember it was like 1 meter. Around 1 meter, meters, Europe, meter. 1 meter wide and 1 meter longer. Okay, something like this. Okay, and we can drop off the laterals, the roof, the front, the back, everything. Then with this trick, we can use the crane and going inside, and then to do the sequence where they are talking just before they hit the girl, and then it's like a sequence, it's 6-minute sequence. We are moving inside because we drop off the front and was not the real one. But
Oh,
was a really good work, because now Raul and I, it's difficult to us know what shoots are in the real one and what are in the fake one. It's difficult to us. We need to analyze and say, this is the real one or not? I don't remember. That's it.
I mean, that's a good sign though, of being able not to be able to
Yeah,
tell for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. That's it.
And so I mentioned the practical effects earlier, but I'm curious about what that process was like for you to work with the art department to create your creatures and
Yeah.
what that process was like, and then maybe some of the inspiration that you had for creature design for this film.
In the first moment, Raul was clearly, because he's a really highly crazy lover of these old masters like Carpenter and all these people that made like history in this kind of movie, of genre movie, that we have to have practical effects and real creatures in the set, no?
Yeah.
And then we started working with art, Raul Castillo, that is an art designer. He draw like what in his imagination looks like the creature. But what's really fun, because there is a lot of drawings that tells the story and the evolution of the alien, but you are not seeing in the movie. We also work what kind of how the accident of the alien was. They hit it here, and how it works. All the systems of the aliens, it have something to slow down when here coming down. Also, how is the evolution? It's starting like a small, and what I mean was really nice to develop completely evolution of the alien, but you are seeing in the movie like that only 2 steps, but we draw everything. Also, he makes some drawing on how it works, how it connected to the brain of the victim inside the head. Was crazy. Then it was really nice and really good. And the influences, obviously, like Carpenter, The Thing, and I'm the how to say in English, the invasions of body. What was the old one in the 75? La invasión de los ultracuerpos, because in Spain we changed all the titles, you know.
Yeah.
I mean the influences. The body.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
That's it. That was another one that like something like this that we was inspiring to make these practical effects.
Awesome. And so, are you a horror person? Like, are you a big horror fan?
Not a big one. I mean, I
Okay.
enjoy. All this that you see is Lord of the Rings. You see,
It's blurred out. I can't see them.
Yeah, it's Lord of the Rings. I mean, no, I'm really, I am a person that consume everything. I mean, I can see Asghar Farhadi film, and I can see Carpenter one, or I can see The Thing. I can go with, Midsommar or Hereditary. Mm-hmm. I mean, I enjoy all types of movies because I'm a consumer of movies. But even Raul is a highly consumer of cinema, like everything, and we like to enjoy. But we think that in the genre world, you have like more freedom. You can do whatever you imagine. You know, it's like it's the place that everything can happen. Then genre, it's a place that we feel comfortable, and we want to tell more stories in this part in this space in the movie world.
Yeah. And so what are some of your most recent horror favorites, if you've seen anyone recently?
Recently, the last one I watched was The Northman, but it's not genre, but it has something inside. This is the last one I watched at the movies from Roger, but probably my favorite of the last times was Hereditary and It Follows. Probably these two.
It Follows is incredible.
Yeah. Probably these two. I mean, remembering now, probably the two that I see in the last year that I see. Wow, this one, catch it, perfect.
Cool. And so I have a silly question for you, because this movie is basically like a ride share. I mean, it's strangers in a van. Do you have a nightmare ride share story that you thought of, that was like kind of in your brain while you were making this movie?
No, it came from a real history from Raul. Wait, I'm going to tell you. They was it's something very typical in Spain. There's an app, and the app is BlaBlaCar, and then you said if you blah blah blah, if you talk a lot or not, you say it in the app, and then you said, I'm going to share my ban. This is why Blasco is saying it's noted in the ad that I'm a smoker and I talk a lot, because you noted in the app. It's real. Okay, and then you are going to go to Barcelona, and then you share from Madrid to Barcelona, and you said, okay, I'm going to travel there, and you put tomorrow 9 a.m. If someone wants to come with me, he paid 20 euros. I don't know. Okay, and I talk a lot, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Then Raúl was the driver, moving from Madrid to Sitges Film Festival, where the movie was released. Crazy world. And he was driving like 5 years ago, and a black man came into the van, and in the van was an old woman, like 75, 80 years old, that was really kindly every time. But when the black man go inside, she is starting to be racist and crazy, and everything that came from her mouth was shit. Okay, and Raúl and his friend Elion Ramallo, that is one of the producers, said, here it's a fucking history that something entered in a van and start to being a monster. In that case, was an old woman being a racist monster.
Oh my God.
From there, have the small idea of this concept, okay? Share a van and something go inside and everything goes wrong. And then they moved to the fantasy. They started working with Asier Guerrica-Echeverría and Javier Echaniz to the first script. And then afterwards, start to a new version, Luis Sánchez Polac, that have more comedy in his blood. Okay. And then he mixed this with this black comedy. And this is where the history came.
Wow. Okay. I'm glad I asked. And then my final question for you is, if you could program your perfect double feature with The Passenger, what other movie would you screen with it?
Probably one of the Carpenter, probably The Thing.
The Thing. Oh, yes. I am obviously a huge Thing fan. I have my poster. I have a Thing tattoo.
But we had to be, I mean, The Passenger first, like Telonero, like you said, and then The Thing. No, this is the correct order.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Fernando, for taking the time to chat with me today about The Passenger, and I'm so excited for everyone to see it.
Thank you very much. Thank you to watch our film, and thank you for your time.